Okay, so this is number 4 problem on our project. I'm going to show you how to solve this one. You can present this one in your project as it is. Just make your own style or something. But I understand number 5 is similar to this one, so hopefully you can figure out number 5 based on this one. Okay, so our problem is we have two girls, Anne and Beth, and Anne. At one point, if Anne would give $2 to Beth, Beth would have twice as much as Anne. So let's draw that line, that situation. So we have Anne here and Beth here. Okay. So the yellow box represents $2. Okay. So let's go back again. So that's originally Anne's. And then we have that yellow over the blue one, which means we're taking away that yellow and put it into Beth's box. Okay, so if that happens, Anne's remaining money would be half, or Beth's new money would be twice as much as Anne. Okay, so if you see these two lines in here, that shows those arrows are equal. Okay, so Beth would have 2 arrows and Anne would have 1 arrow, which means Beth has twice as much as Anne. Okay, so this is our first situation. Now our second situation would be, okay, by the way, yeah, alright, so that's how it would look. But let's put it back. Okay. Now in our second situation, we have Beth, on the other hand, will be the one giving Anne the $2. Okay, so we take that yellow box that represents $2 and put it to Anne's. If this thing happens, then they would have equal amount of money. So that's why they have that same arrow at the end of their boxes. Okay, so these are two scenarios, and this is one example where you need to be really careful with your boxes, because if your boxes does not line up, then it's kind of hard to figure it out. So that's why I always try to encourage you to have your boxes almost the same size, or to use rulers or something similar to that. Okay, so let's start extending some lines here. Okay, look at this black line that I extended all the way up to the first scenario, and another one of these. Okay, and let's get rid of that so it's not so messy. Alright, look at the distance between these two black lines. Do you notice anything? Okay, that distance over there. Okay, so I'll call that purple arrow, okay, just so you can see it. Just follow all the arrows that I mentioned here. Okay, so these purple arrows is actually equal to two yellow boxes. Okay, look at that, those flashing darkened yellow boxes. Okay, and since one box is for $1, then $2, therefore 2 boxes is equal to $4. Okay, so therefore that distance there is $4. Now let's look at this one, which is the blue arrow. That's also equal to two yellow boxes. If you look at the yellow box in the second scenario, I will darken this one out. Oh, oops. Okay, I guess they did not get darkened. Okay. Alright, let's go back a little bit. Okay, so the blue arrow is also equal to 2 yellow boxes. 1 yellow on top, 1 yellow at the bottom. Okay, so that's equal to $4. Now, if you look at this the dashed arrow, that is equal to $8. Why is that? Remember in your first scenario, that arrow over there is equal to the 2 arrows, the purple and the blue arrow. Because remember, when Anne gave $2 to Beth, Beth would have twice as much as Anne. So that was the twice stuff. Okay. I'm not so sure if you can see that right away, but I guess if you do some practice and do this one on paper, it'll make more sense to you. Okay, so the dashed arrow is $8. So therefore, Anne's money, if you look at Anne's original box, okay, so that's just basically equal to, Anne's money would just be equal to one dash arrow, the dashed arrow plus one yellow box, right? And so since the dash is $8 and the yellow box is $2, so therefore Anne would have $10. Okay, so I'll leave it to you to figure out Beth's from this one. I guess you can just pause.